Matson, gold sponsor of the 2018 Micro Games in Yap. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Tonight on Primetime, senators approve an amendment to increase the hotel occupancy tax as the battle over GovGuam's budget continues. Plus, the anticipated financial shortfalls will include negative impacts. Education leaders express their concern on that matter. And also tonight, one woman caught with a large amount of meth and cocaine has been sentenced in federal court. Half a day, everybody, and good evening. Well, the battle of the budget continues as senators cut short Tuesday's emergency session and will reconvene Wednesday morning as they work to resolve the government's budget crisis. But now the focus shifts away from revenue enhancement and toward more cost-cutting proposals, as Nestor Canto explains in our top story.
$138 million was the magic number that Appropriations Chairman Speaker Benjamin Cruz says they had to make up because of the revenue reductions from the Trump tax reforms. He laid out a spending plan combining budget cuts with revenue enhancements. And on Monday, senators agreed to continue the April business privilege tax increase, which raises an additional $60 million, but they rejected a real property tax increase that would have added about $23 million. So Cruz pulled out a list from the Office of Finance and Budget, which was essentially a menu of tax increases for lawmakers to pick from. They chose to raise the hotel occupancy tax from 11% to 13%, a compromise from the originally proposed 15%, but only raises $8 million. But all this talk of revenue enhancement not sitting well with many senators, especially Fernando Esteves, who led Monday's defeat of the property tax hike. He's been pushing the debate toward cutting costs before raising revenues.
There was a point in this government, a time when we actually did performance-based budgeting. And at some point that just disappeared. There's no data truly backing up that the money the taxpayers invest into those agencies has a return either in services. We can barely quantify or qualify anything.
Esteves, who's not seeking re-election, says it's time to make a stand.
We're missing out on an opportunity for all of us to put in the hard work that's necessary to really figure out.
Speaker Cruz, who's navigating the budget approval process, again cut short the emergency session. Come Wednesday, senators will need to get their cost-cutting amendments ready. It'll be time to roll up the sleeves.
Then let's recess until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we'll do 12 hours from there.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Meanwhile, the Visitors Bureau is warning that increasing the hotel occupancy tax will have the opposite effect from what senators intend. GVB says Guam's already seen as an expensive destination, and raising the tax will mean we'll have a combined rate that's higher than Hawaii's 18% compared to 14.25%. GVB says because of existing contracts, hotels will need to absorb the increase instead of passing it on to consumers, which could impact employee hours and hiring. Well, what do GovGuam budget cuts mean for DOE? Education leaders recently discussed the effects of the government's financial woes on GovGuam's largest agency, as Carmen Terlai explains in our next report.
Superintendent John Fernandez took to Twitter to post his thoughts on legislative budget hearings, asking what these latest cuts mean for the Guam Department of Education. With a decrease from $232 to $230 million, another $23 million cut, and more money going to charter schools, would this force even more cuts to GDOE? In a previous media briefing, he says this time it won't be as simple as previous Phase 1 to 3, which officials say saved the department $12 million earlier this year.
And you can do certain things in the summer that you can't do in the school year. What's going to happen now is that any adjustments we have to make it during full operations, during the middle of the school year. Adjustments
that affect the 14 points and quality education DOE is expected to provide to 30,000 plus students. Guam Education Board Chairman Mark Mendiola even went as far to say GDOE could be sued if they don't have the money to meet the mandate, asking for clarity so they can work within their means. So far, GDOE has stood firm that furloughs for over 4,000 employees are off the table, But he adds it should be no surprise to lawmakers what teacher layoffs can look like.
I'm not refusing to. I think right now it's not our priority. I'm not going to prioritize putting our staff and employees on that fear watch that they may not have a job. My wife's an educator. If she gets a 20% cut in her salary, I get a 20% cut in my salary, that's 40% of the income that I take home. That's going to really impact my family.
Overall, education officials hope cuts don't touch the classrooms, begging lawmakers to keep DOE a top priority.
We're going to go down a really rough road. They told us to stay out of tax policy, but then who's going to advocate for our kids?
The ball is now in the legislature's court, says Superintendent John Fernandez, and though it's too soon to tell what will be cut, he is confident school will start on time and student education will remain their top concern. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
All right, thanks so much, Carm. The board is meeting this evening to discuss more on budget and financing next fiscal period. Elsewhere, the island's only public hospital has resubmitted its corrective action plan to the Center for Medicare and Medicaid, with GMH officials confirming this happened last weekend. GMH needs about $28 million to address the CMS issues and avoid being dropped from the programs, which provide millions of dollars a year in federal reimbursement. Details of the revised plan have not been released, as earlier this month, the hospital received $600,000 from GITA to help address deficiencies identified by CMS. This is their second attempt after the hospital was informed by CMS that the first plan was insufficient. The hospital hopes to receive a response in the coming weeks. Well, the financial struggle at the hospital has one business stepping in and helping out, as the Panda Cares Foundation donated critical care beds, syringe pumps, and more to the pediatrics unit at GMH. Hospital CFO Benita Manglonia says much of their equipment is outdated, and she's asking the assistance of other businesses to help GMH as well.
Please take this challenge with Panda Care and match their donations and help GMH. We're not asking for ourselves, we're asking for the people, the underserved community that we serve here at GMH. And as you can see, we've been in the news, we've been asking for money. But, you know, it's very difficult to get everything that we need.
The total cost for the donated items is about $55,000. Elsewhere, we have the results of a KUAM election poll as participants picked their favorite candidates for the gubernatorial, congressional, and public auditor races. Chris Barnett has more.
D18 right around the corner as KUAM News releases its first official poll of the 2018 elections. The results may or may not surprise you. Our mini poll of 127 registered voters focuses on 3 races in the primary election. Let's start with the race for public auditor. It's do or die on August 25th for candidates for public auditor. The candidate with the most votes will fill the vacant public auditor seat as soon as primary election results are certified by the Guam Election Commission. Who do you think will win the public auditor race? Speaker B.J. Cruz tops the OPA field with 27% of responses. Doreen Crisostomo was second place with 15%, and acting public auditor Yuka Hechanova took 11% of responses, but it's still wide open as almost half of respondents had no opinion on the race. The Democratic congressional primary is sure to be a tight one, with incumbent Congresswoman Madeline Berdallo taking friendly fire from her opponent, Democrat Senator Michael San Nicolas. When we asked registered voters who they thought would win the Democratic congressional primary, 50% said Berdallo and 26% said San Nicolas, with 24% saying they didn't know. Now, one could interpret that as meaning they'll be supporting the lone Republican congressional candidate, Doris Flores Brooks. And saving the best for last, Guam's hotly contested Democratic gubernatorial primary, the question we asked: who do you think will win the Democratic gubernatorial primary election? The team most likely to be the last Democrat standing, according to our poll, the Ugan Limtiaco team, with 33% of people saying they thought Senator Frank Ugan and former U.S. Attorney Alicia Limtiaco would win the August 25th primary. The Lou and Josh team was second, with 19% of those surveyed saying they thought the Bank of Guam president and former senator and the former administrator of the courts would move on to the general election. Former Governor Carl Gutierrez and former Police Chief Fred Berdallo finished with 13% of responses. Bottom of the heap, Rodriguez Cruz with only 12% of respondents saying they thought the team would win the primary. 22% of those surveyed did not have an opinion on who would win the Democrat gubernatorial primary election. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Well, please stay tuned. We are back right after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy, to the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
The first encounter I had with Mr. Liu was, of course, through the bank. I was going through some issues. I'll never forget these words because she was like, Alicia, you're the reason why my dad went into business, and we are here to help you. She was just very compassionate, you know. She wore her heart on her sleeve. She comes from a big business, you would think, you know. But then she just kind of reminds me of me, like, you do what you love, and she shows that she loves what she does. So if she becomes governor, I know that she would do what she loves, and I'm sure she'll take care of us. I thought you were calling us because she gave me a chance, and so many others a chance. I want to give her a chance too. I know 100% for me and my family, and whoever I can get to follow, we are voting for her. Because of this reason.
I'm Lilian Guerrero and I approve this message.
Character selfie specials at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Snap a selfie with any of our new friends, share it on social media, and tag us at CEC Guam. Show your post at the counter and get the special for only $5. Specials valid Mondays through Fridays in July at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Depending on how she sold it, one defendant could make upwards of $500,000 dealing ice. But the only math she's been thinking about of late is how many days she'll be spending in a federal detention center. Crystal Paco explains.
Over 500 grams of the drug ice, 30 grams of cocaine, and close to 100 grand in cold, hard cash. That's what federal agents found when they raided Lavelia Mendoza's home in April of last year. A month later, she pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute 50 grams or more of methamphetamine. The 36-year-old was sentenced on Tuesday to 8 years in jail. Prosecutor Rosetta San Nicolas advised the court the defendant concealed the drugs in Pringles cans with false bottoms and would, quote, sell to anyone, end quote. Between sobs, Mendoza begged, quote, I'm asking you, Your Honor, and God, please forgive me, end quote. Both parties acknowledged her difficult upbringing when recommending a sentence to the court. She had been molested, raped, and beaten by men in her family, and the abuse continued with her intimate partners. She ultimately turned to a life of drugs and alcohol to block her memories. She also detailed her struggles with suicidal thoughts, having made an estimated 30 attempts. Quote, I've been hoping to die, she admitted. Prosecution stated Mendoza was given many referrals to get help at the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, the Oasis Empowerment Center, and the Lighthouse Recovery Center, but she either rejected treatment or failed to show up. Mendoza told the court today that the experience has been a blessing in disguise, because now she realizes what she has done and is ready to get help. Quote, the things I've been through in my life could be why I committed my crime. Thanks for the opportunity to help myself. It's about time I get the help I never knew I needed, end quote. Her 8-year jail term will be followed by 5 years of supervised release. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Also tonight, a 21-year-old man is behind bars accused of molesting a girl he knows. Julian Agigi Jr. is charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct, aggravated assault, and assault with intent to commit criminal sexual conduct, all as felonies. The 14-year-old girl, according to court documents, woke up early Monday to Agigi allegedly touching her leg, and though she asked him to stop, he allegedly held her down as he kissed her and digitally penetrated her. Well, with regional headlines now, here's KSPN 2 News.
Half a day, Guam. Here's what's making news in the CNMI. In a recent interview with the Commonwealth Casino Commission, Executive Director and Chairman of the board say there are clarifications to be made in regards to the casino's hotel room's August 31st deadline. You received
notification
this yesterday that they are requesting for an
extension. They're going to request extension to the Lottery Commission.
Requesting for an extension, Imperial Pacific International CNMI is not able to meet the August 31st deadline. And according to the Commonwealth Casino Commission, if this deadline is not met, a common misconception is this.
On the original casino license agreement, the issue of liquidated damage only applies to phase 1 of the, there are 3 stages in this license agreement. The first stage is the initial gaming facility. That's the Imperial Pacific Resort in Garapan. Phase 1 is presumably somewhere up north. Some people were talking about this may be the previous location of Can Pacific. Beginning that project, if they don't finish it within the time frame, that's when the liquidated damage kick in.
A liquidated damage fee of $100,000 per day until compliance is secured. However, this does not apply to the Imperial Pacific Resort, explained CCC Executive Director Edward De Leon Guerrero.
It does not apply on the initial gaming facility, the Garapan project. So the 3 phases is initial gaming facility, phase 1 and phase 2. Those 3 comprises the license agreement. The end of the day, Public Law 18-56 require the licensee to comply with 2 things. Invest a minimum of $2 billion and build a minimum of 2,000 new hotel rooms. Your question of when are they going to submit the request for extension? The casino license agreement itself, CLA, that's the acronym, I had an amendment number 5.
As this amendment makes for this.
When the initial agreement was established, requiring $2 billion investment and 2,000 new room, the initial gaming facility, the Garapan, was not included. In other words, the number of rooms built in Garapan is not included the 2,000 room, or the amount of money invested there is not included in the $2 billion. Amendment number 5 made it applicable, so that if they build 329 rooms, that can be deducted from the minimum of 2,000 new hotel rooms. That's required by 1856.
Additionally, De Leon Guerrero says any capital investment in the initial gaming facility is also deductible from the minimum of the $2 billion required investment, he explains. So the $100,000 past the date of August 31 does not apply to the situation because they are not in phase 1?
That is correct. And I've been hearing this Someone called us and said someone in the radio is talking about why isn't the CNMI government imposing a $100,000 liquidated damage per day. Obviously, they have not read the casino license agreement.
This agreement reads that this fine only applies when entering Phase 1.
We have not touched, we have not broken ground on any Phase 1 at all. The construction project in Garapan is called the initial gaming facility, and that does not have the built-in liquidated damage.
Not in Phase 1 yet and requesting an extension. CCC says they expect to hear a projected plan from IPI at the next board meeting on Tuesday, July 31st.
Are you able to provide the information of when they're extending the deadline, the request?
No, they don't have detailed information. I think that's what we're going to ask again in the meeting with the day.
Watch these top stories and more at saipantv.com. For KSPN2, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Please stay tuned. The Night in Island Sports is coming up next.
Introducing the Alpha Plus app. With the rewards feature, you can earn points and get free rewards. Filing insurance claims gets no easier, as you can receive feedback within 24 hours. Easily check your insurance balance and insurance policy with the My Policy feature. So download the all-new Alpha Plus app on Google Play or the App Store. Alpha Plus, make every day a plus.
We're celebrating our 135th anniversary today, both in the outlying regions on which we hub and also here in Guam itself. It means so much to our team here in Guam. It means a lot to us in the Matson management team, because what it says is we're here to stay. It's a real physical manifestation of our commitment to this region. It's so important that we hire locally, we develop talent locally, we train locally. What's been a wonderful addition to our approach there is that many of the people who started off in Guam have gone off into significant leadership roles elsewhere in the company.
This is our headquarters here in Guam in Micronesia. And when we talk about putting down our roots, it's not just doing business, it's about everything we do with our friends, our customers, and our employees. I believe that nobody can replicate what we do, and that's why we have such a great team and such a great service and why we're successful. This is our home, this is our life, and we're happy to make a difference in everyone else's life.
Summer is here, and at Cars Plus and Mighty, that means big savings during our summer clearance event. Right now, save up to $8,000 on select 2018 Ram 1500 SLT Crew Cab, or save $3,250 on a 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. Voted Family Car of the Year. 1.99 APR financing is available for qualified buyers. Plus, buy today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Don't miss our summer clearance event, going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. On the way, soccer news from the GFA along with some seniors bowling. But first off, youth basketball highlights from the Guam Sports Complex Gym and Timberling Gym. Check it out. GYBA Basketball League from the Guam Sports Complex. Crusaders and Southern United taken to the court in the U16 division. Crusaders player Chauncey with the three-pointer. Southern's Nathaniel Esquadra drains the pull-up jumper, assisted by Jude Babauta. Noah Uggan misses the shot for Southern United. Jesse with the rebound for the Crusaders. Gives it up to Marcus Camacho, calling for the ball in the corner. Hits the deep ball. He finished the game with 16 points. Jude Babauta with the quick answer the other way, gets by Camacho, who went for the steal and hits for 2 points. Crusaders improved to 7-1 on the season behind their 68-36 win over Southern United. Jesse with the pass to teammate Ayato, who gets to the basket for the lay-in. Keeping with basketball, the Summer Jam basketball tournament is ongoing over at the Tamuning Gym. Southern United's U14 boys on the court facing MCS Phoenix. MCS player Dante Techur drives past the defender who avoids the foul. Kirsten Guzman went to work inside the paint for Southern United for 2 of his 16 points. The Phoenix squad trying to stay in the ball game. Techur drives and passes the ball off to Aiden Charfris. Banks open for 2 points. Charfris with a dish to Sean Lamparero. Ball rolls off the rim. Guzman with the rebound. Long pass up court to Elijah Cruz for the finish. Southern United picked up the W, 67-30. Mattel head coach Carl Dodd recently talked about the national team program and the direction the GFA is taking to ensure that there is a continual production line of players progressing through the national team pathway that is educated in playing football. Problem solvers are what we are trying to create, and the benefits from this approach are realized in older age groups. This is the cornerstone of our new coach education programs, in which we as an island can all contribute towards the betterment of football on Guam. Our national team program consists of an environment that fosters optimal performance. The culture, values, and expectations are all geared around producing people and players that Guam can be proud of, players that leave the shirt in a better place. Art Gatman won his second Guam Seniors Bowlers Association Senior Bowler of the Month title, beating out top seed Manny Tagle for the championship. Gatman took the first of 2 games, 257-240, and followed up with the second game win for the title, 239-200 with handicap. The December championship for the Senior Bowler of the Year will be held after the Asia Senior Bowlers Championship held in Okinawa, Japan. Interested bowlers can still vie for one of the senior team Guam spots, provided they are 50 years of age by December 31st, 2018, and are members of the Guam Senior Bowlers Association. For more info, contact any Guam Senior Bowler Association board member or tournament chairperson Rick Torres at 687-4291. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
You know, one of the things I really like about Lewis and Josh as well is that they're really down to earth. They're easy to talk to. They're really big supporters with not only small business, but entrepreneurs, and definitely helping out people with the community. Falls in line with what I believe in terms of my business. So it's a perfect fit to be working and supporting with Lou and Josh. They're always looking for change. My suggestion is, if you have an issue or if you have a concern or problem, I guarantee you they have an open door policy. Approach it to them and see what those issues are, and I'm sure they'll give you a response for what your perception is. I would say anybody can quit. Don't be anybody. My name is Ray Chardoff, and I'm supporting Lou and Josh. I'm in.
This message.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Check out Triple J's spectacular July deals going on now during the hot summer savings event. 0 down, 1.9% financing, and easy trade-in. Get into a 2018 Mazda 3 Sport for as low as $16,995. Or our big boy truck, the Ford F-150, starting at $298 per paycheck. Or the North American Car of the Year, the 2018 Honda Accord at only $206 per paycheck. Plus, receive a free limited edition Liberation gift pack with every vehicle purchase. Visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
It is happy birthday time for you. Here are tonight's birthday shoutouts. It's time to wish happy birthday to some very special Guamanians on this July 31st. Papa Benny, to the bestiest papa in the world, love your grand kiddos. Also, happy birthday to Ron Santos. Your entire familia says we love you, Ron. Bob Onidera, to another papa, love you from Tyler John. Also, happy birthday to Lennon Jose Barnett. This comes from the entire family. with a whole lot of love, just like Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page sends a special shout out to you, Leonard. Janae Certeza Perez, happy birthday to mom of Maya Jade, little Jose, and the littlest Perez, baby Adelaide. Hope you had a wonderful day. Also, happy birthday to Ron and Roland Santos. Ron gets a double shot here. Happy birthday, Dingas. Love the family. And happy belated birthday wishes going out to Anne Leon Guerrero. A very happy and joyous birthday coming from your sister Angie and brother-in-law David, who love you very, very much. All right, everybody can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. It is super easy to do and super rewarding. Just register on KUAM.com. And just stay tuned because Carmen Victoria Terlai is standing by. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is coming up.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Health, Home, and Lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Welcome to KUAM News Extra. I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi. So glad you could join us. Tonight we'll get details on a Paradise Fitness program kicking off, and we'll learn about the latest approved charter school. But first, here's Nurse Jen with Health Check.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Hafa-day, I'm Nurse Jen. A common trend by many health fitness enthusiasts include consuming or drinking apple cider vinegar on a daily basis. Apple cider vinegar is made by crushing apples to squeeze the liquid out, then good bacteria and yeast are added to the apple liquid to start the alcoholic fermentation process, then sugars are added. As the fermentation process dwells, this apple concoction is converted into vinegar by acidic acid-forming bacteria, giving it its acidic sour taste. And ladies and gentlemen, ta-da! That is how apple cider vinegar is born. It's easy to get because it's sold in supermarkets all around the world. Some individuals add it to their salad dressing, marinades, some add it to their drinks, but some gung-ho folks can drink it straight up like a shot every morning. Too acidic for me and too sour for me. It's known to assist with weight loss, drop your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol levels, stabilize your blood sugars, improve your skin appearance, and relieve acid reflux symptoms and urinary tract infection symptoms also. But should you also be cautious? Too much, however, can sometimes cause a problem. The acid in apple cider vinegar may lead to problems with your throat and your teeth. Too much can erode your tooth enamel. The acidic acid can damage the enamel of your teeth, making them more susceptible to tooth decay and also damage the esophageal lining. Diluting the apple cider vinegar before consumption is the wise thing to do. But heed caution if you are experiencing dental woes. It's important to have an honest discussion with your